was everything that you said a black man couldn't be. Deion was the first. So I could assume that he thinks that his son should be it. But I think that those white men and those people in the NFL, not even white men, just the fraternity of the NFL was like, we need to humble this nigga. And to me, it felt like they was trying to humble Deion more than they was trying to humble his son. Yeah, and another thing, I'll tell you another thing.
Going to the Browns.
This situation with Deion, it proves something that I've always said on the podcast. People will always go for who makes them comfortable, not who's best for the job.
I make folks nervous, man. I get folks moving in their seat. I get folks twirling their thumbs. I get them thinking and second guessing themselves. You know, have you ever been so clean that you walked in and somebody looked down at you, then they looked at themselves, they had to check themselves because you were so clean? I have that effect.
That's the vibe you're getting.
No, I have that effect. So I'm backing away from crowds and people trying to grab me, and I backed into this room, and the Giants was there. And it was the Giants room, and they had people sitting down taking these tests. What do they call these things?
Oh, yeah, like the psychology test, right?
I mean, the thing was that thick, man. And I sat down, and they gave me this thing. And what is this? They say, it's this test, and, we need you to take it. I said, oh, what picker do you have? It's like the 10th. I said, I'll be gone before then. So I got up and walked out. I'll be way gone before then. I said, I'm not going to you. Don't draft me. I'm going to play baseball if you do. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. And
sure enough, Atlanta was
number 5 pick. I was so happy I didn't know what to do, man.
And Belichick said he watched you run the 40 at the combine, and that you ran it and then ran into the tunnel. And is it true?
That's not true.
Okay. You did not run into a waiting car and being taken to the airport right then and there.
No, because I had more interviews and all of that. No, that story just grows and grows.
I think it was not about Shedeur. I think it was about Deion. Because Deion Sanders famously said, when he was in the draft back in the day, in the 90s, when he was in the draft, he famously told teams, where y'all drafting at? 7. Oh, no, we ain't even got to talk. I'm going to be gone by then. And I think a lot of people, Deion is one of those guys where he's kind of been the blackest of the excellent as a black man, right?
Looks like you're wearing your signing bonus here. And plus we can see the nice primetime logo already, or what?
Yeah, we got sweatsuit started, jacket started, everything. We got it going on here. Everybody got on jury. Even the baby got a little something. We ready now.
We give LeBron James a lot of credit, but let's forget Deion won. He not only won in the NFL Super Bowl, he also won the World Series.
Yeah.
He showed up to the combine without warming up, ran 4.27 in the 40, then refused to do any more drills. In an interview with the Giants, he stopped them mid-conversation to ask where their draft pick was. Unsatisfied with the response, Prime got up and told him we wouldn't be available at that spot, and promptly walked out. In a draft class with a few other future Hall of Famers, Sanders' enigma and brash personality is probably the reason he fell to 5th slot, straight into the Atlanta Falcons lap. But at first, it didn't feel like that for the Falcons. Sanders was set on playing in both the MLB and the NFL. Drafted by the Yankees while having contract issues with Atlanta, Sanders worked his way into the Yanks starting lineup. In the truest primetime fashion, Sanders blasted a home run for the Yankees, then made his Falcons debut less than a day later. And what a debut it was. I guess teams didn't learn from his college career, as Sanders returned his first punt return 66 yards for a touchdown. Sanders was only a professional for 1 week, and he had done something no one had ever done. Homered in the MLB and scored a touchdown in the NFL within a day's time. In all actuality, Deion's nickname should be Precedent Time. That doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well as Prime, but it does seem like every time you look over, Deion was doing something no one had ever done before. To make his schedule easier, Sanders signed with the Atlanta Braves in 1990, but it didn't take long before Sanders got tired of not being able to play in the baseball playoffs because the NFL season coincided. He manufactured his second deal to allow him to play both at the same time. In his first full postseason in baseball, Deion Sanders played outfield for the Braves in a World Series. All he did next was show up without any training camp and missing a quarter of the season to earn an All-Pro corner and a Pro Bowl punt returner nod. His time with the Falcons had come to an end when he scored 10 return touchdowns and was twice named the best cornerback in football. He signed with the 49ers next, and had arguably the greatest year of his legendary career. He picked off 6 passes, 3 of which he scored on. On just those 6 interceptions, Prime set a still-standing interception return single-season mark at 303 yards. The most notable of those interceptions came on a 94-yard revenge pick against the Falcons. Deion stared down the Falcons' sidelines as he high-stepped into the end zone. Sanders and the 49ers won the NFC Championship, which led to another Prime first, being the only player to play in a World Series and a Super Bowl. Sanders ended up coming up with a fourth-quarter interception in the big game to win his first championship. All offseason, as Prime was playing baseball with the Reds, the media and the NFL were courting his services. While filming a commercial for a video game about himself, Deion had to dress up with 6 different team jerseys on because he didn't know what team he would eventually join.
He was drafted playing for 2 different teams. He was everything that you said a black man couldn't be. Deion was the first. So I could assume that he thinks that his son should be it. But I think that those white men and those people in the NFL, not even white men, just the fraternity of the NFL was like, we need to humble this nigga. And to me, it felt like they was trying to humble Deion more than they was trying to humble his son. Yeah, and another thing, I'll tell you another thing.
Going to the Browns.
With this situation with Deion, it proves something that I've always said on the podcast. People will always go for who makes them comfortable, not who's best for the job.
Gosh.
So it's like the same concept with fucking with Dallas Mavericks when they chained Luka. Like the fans and Luka have a great relationship, but here comes this guy Nico. Nigga, nah, we ain't doing it like that. So now he switches it up. So now Nico is kind of like, now he's being thrown under the bus and all this other stuff about how he's, he did all this stuff. But the reality is that we don't have control over none of this shit. So why are we stressing? Why do we stress? Why do we let it drive us crazy the way we do? I don't understand that part.
Interesting.
That's the part, because it's like we don't have control over it.
True.
It's not ours.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Do you feel, speaking of Luka, I mean, obviously you see everything. It's like,
this was in March 13th, 2018. Deion said, I love what the Browns have done this offseason, but if I'm a young QB, ain't no way I'm going to Cleveland. I would pull an Eli Manning if possible. Hashtag think about it. Hashtag truth. Now, of course, some people over in the comments is mad that they brought this up. Says, this is pretty weak for a respected sports outlet. What does the Browns QB situation 7 years ago have to do with today? Entirely irrelevant. Do better at professional sports journalism or just become a tabloid. It's so funny how when these tweets from yesteryear come back to haunt somebody, I'm just going to say it, somebody black, everybody says it's irrelevant. What somebody said 7 years ago. That's irrelevant. Why are we talking about something from 7 years ago? But when a white player, think Joey Bosa, for example, was a Trump supporter years and years ago, and they came back and they found a tweet with him saying MAGA or something, and the left-wing sports people, black mainly, and white libtards lost their minds over it. But now it's irrelevant. Why does that matter? No, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to play both sides against the middle here. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. It doesn't matter. But it is funny that the very guy who said his son wouldn't play there just got drafted by them all the way down in the 5th round. So, yeah, it's funny. It's ironic more so than it is anything.